Obasio kakamname anenguna bababse.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon. Good day.
Good day and welcome.
Thank you. Please, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself to us. Your full name, where you had worked before, and how old you are. Can you remember when you were born?
Well, I am Edim Itakpo. Before the appellation of Esi Njo was added, I am the head of the Edim Itakpo royal family of Itakpo clan. Prior to this time, I worked with the First Bank of Nigeria PLC for over 20 years. Rose to the rank of a branch accountant before I settled for traditional politics. I started as the secretary to the Itakpo clan under our amiable and revered Edim Thomas Ikaika Okwa III. We worked assiduously for him to become the Otoe of Itakpo. And based on that, I ended up as his secretary until his demise. After that, I felt I could no longer fit in as secretary of the clan because that was demeaning. So I had to step in to my proper role as the head of the Edim Itakpo royal family.
Okay. Before we come to that, where in your first bank, where did you work? Did you only in Calabar?
I worked in Calabar branch. I worked in Lagos. I worked in Ibadan. And finally in Asaba, when the Delta State was created.
Okay, so you have not told us how old you are. When were you born? Do you remember?
I was born on the 6th of May, 1950. So precisely I am going to be 72 come May.
Okay. Remember, we'll come and celebrate with you 6th of May.
No problem.
That's good.
You're welcome.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Esi Njo, what does it mean? What is this royal family all about?
Well, unfortunately, as docile as we are, we have allowed ourselves to be downtrodden. The Esi Njo is equivalent to the Tubum in the Efik land. Esi Njo is the head of the ruling family, and we have 4 ruling families in Itakpo clan: the Edim Itakpo royal family, the Ekomamban royal family, the Itaukan royal family, and the Bangasim royal family. Each of these families has somebody at the head, and he participates in the policy making of the clan. His opinion is being respected because without him being present in the Otoe, which is the final ruling body in our setup.
Final royal ruling?
Yes. All matters pertaining to royalty revolve around the royal families or around Otoe.
You need to discuss in Otoe then?
Yes.
Otoe.
They have the final say.
Okay.
They pick who should be the next Otoe, or they give approval.
Okay. So subsequently, do they have give approval to for the next Ndidem?
Well, the Indidem is another ball game because yes,
Okay.
because that one has to do with other core clans.
Okay.
But be that as it may, the heads of royal families still have serious inputs to make. Their opinions are respected because they sit in the council with the Ndidem.
Okay. Apart from that rule, royal family for the royal family, is there any other rule they function in? The royal family, like Edim Itakpo, choosing a king. Is there any other thing, any other important role they play in the community?
Yes. Now, ideally, the head of the ruling family is a step to becoming the Otoe, if you so desire. But like as I am now, after 72 or more than 70, I don't think I would be too useful as a yes. I would prefer giving it out to a younger
people.
Yes.
I wish Nigerians can learn this. Choosing president, you are going to get somebody who is over 70 or 80 something to come and be president. Thank you very much, sir, for that idea.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I know we have in core clans, they are age grades.
Yes.
What are the functions of these age grades?
The age grades are supposed to act as police to the community.
Okay.
If you belong to an age grade and you misbehave, it is your age grade that should discipline you.
That is how it was in those days.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Now, apart from that, the age grades carry out all the jobs in the clan, like cleaning of roads, clearing of the town. That is why as soon as a particular age grade produces the king, they cease to function as one of the age grades. They still exist, but they don't participate in communal work again.
Okay. That's as
They become
an
senior
king
citizens
emerges from that age grade.
Yes.
They cease to cease to do the normal work for that age grade.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's use for example like Edim Thomas Itakpo age grade.
He was of Inokun age grade.
Okay.
And as soon as he ascended the throne, the Inokun age group ceased to perform.
They went to the background.
Yes, they have produced a king, so they are kings.
Really? Okay. Never knew this. It's okay. Okay, so age grade also has a hand in producing kings, or they can emerge from that age grade.
No, at least they are citizens of the place.
Okay.
So they are free to participate in all the activities, vie for the kingship of the clan.
Okay.
And if you are picked, then that is to say the age grade is fortunate. They cease to perform all the menial jobs that the age grades perform.
Okay, like in Edim Itakpo royal family that you are head,
Yes.
how many age grades are inside there?
The
I know I am in Asora,
yes,
and some members there too.
it's as many as we have people.
Okay.
remember that nobody chooses to be born at a particular time,
Yes.
and nobody chooses the family to where he comes from. So, as many people as possible can belong to as many age grades as they can. The age grade thing is about when you were born, people who were born around the same time with you.
With you.
Normally, it used to be between 5 years span
Okay.
or 10 years, as the case may be.
Okay, no, the question I'm asking is that, like in your own royal family, that you are single,
All the age grades
grades
are there.
Okay, that's the question now. All the age grades are there.
Yes.
Are you serious? I never knew that.
You are a member of the Itakpo
No, I know,
family,
I know
and
I'm
you
a-
belong to Asarau.
Yes,
Some other person is a member of the
I-
Itakpo family. He belongs to his own age grade.
I know Kwaitu was here too.
Yes.
The late Kwaitu was here.
Yes.
And I know he was his own age grade is older.
Okoroba.
Yes. Okay. But it's alright. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. By the time you were like that 1950, you must have seen. Let's talk about Edim Otoe the second.
Yes.
You must have been here when he was. What can you really say about him? What was his real like? What was his personality like?
Well, we have not had any other reign like his own, apart from the reign of Edim Thomas Ikaikakwa, who was an offspring of Otoe Ikaikakwa the second. Otoe Ikaikakwa was an enigma. You can never know what he's capable of doing, but he was always there for the people. He loved his community. He sacrificed himself, like when he took a trip to unify the Edim nation from here all the way to Ikom and almost back. I remember when Edim Thomas died, we undertook the trip to Mbaka.
When he died or before he died?
No, after he died.
Okay, after he died.
Yes, we went to invite our king and kings from Mbaka.
Okay.
And they came. They participated in his obsequies. That was to keep the relationship
Going.
and it wouldn't have been possible if Otoe Ikaikakwa had not set the pace. And his name was a passport to any person, anywhere you go into Edim land. Especially those of us who were from the same family with him. I remember when I went to a village outside Oban, Debiji. We arrived there by about 11:30 p.m. And as soon as I mentioned Bikwo, the first question that I was asked was, "Do you know Otoe Ikaikakwa?" And when I mentioned my name, remember that Ika is in my name, I was given a first-class treatment. It happened so with others.
So what was his personality like? How tall was he? Can you describe him physically?
He was tall, well built.
He was tall like Edim Thomas.
Edim Thomas had his genes running from Ndika, so he was as tall as that.
Okay.
Well built.
Okay.
And he carried that personality, and kingship fitted him like it did to Thomas. You know, there are kings who come out, you mere seeing them, you know these are kings.
Yes.
Itakpo was such.
In his government, there's Itakpo the second.
Yes.
I know he related very much with the NCNC, and that gave him a space in the Eastern government. God gave him that power in the Eastern government. I don't know if you know anything about that. Can you?
Well, if you are not influential, no matter what happens or what government is in power, they will not identify with you. Itakpo was influential, highly influential. And so the NCNC government had no choice than to use him to their advantage. Identify with him.
Okay.
Make use of his personality because it helped them.
No, I'm doing research about him. I discovered that he's the one who brought the NCNC to Eastern government. I don't know if you know that.
I've not researched to that extent.
When he went to Cameroon,
Yes.
he negotiated and brought NCNC here. That is when people like Margaret Itakpo joined the NCNC, and people like Professor, the man who owns Wapi, what's his name?
Professor Ita.
Joined NCNC and stuff like before the Eastern government embraced it.
I would not doubt that.
Okay. And who was his father? Because in cleaning this house, his house, One Royal Square, we discovered one ornament written Ikaika the First. And I don't know if you heard anything about his father. You know?
Well, very little is known about him, about Itakpo the First. But we know that before there's a second, there must have been a first.
Yes.
These are all from the Itakpo dynasty.
That's why I'm doing this interview, so that Itakpo can have a dynasty that we can fall back to and say this is how years to come. We might not be here.
Okay.
So, but when you put on the internet, they can always refer to and say this is how it was, this is how it was not.
I commend your efforts in trying to put the records straight. But you see, this research you are doing is exposing you to the truth.
Yes.
You may not have known who he is. And whatever I'm telling you, I don't expect you to take it line, hook, and sinker.
Of course, I'm a journalist.
So you would get the truth by and by, and you'll be able to sift.
That's true. As a journalist, I'm trying to find the truth.
Yes.
So that I can say the correct thing.
Well, if we are to go into the story of that Atamuno and all whatnot, we know our boundaries. We know that Atamuno is in a food land. And when the foods discovered Ikangeta and brought him to Etantison.
Oh, a food discovered Ikangeta.
Yes.
Of Akam.
Okay. That he
Okay.
was speaking the same dialect
Language.
as.
And brought him to
Yes.
Etantison.
Yes.
Are you serious?
That we have seen somebody who is speaking your language. And when Ikan came and discovered that was the father, he embraced him. So there's no how somebody of Ikaika caliber, the first, who would go and live in Atamuno. How was Atamuno then?
Well, I had an interview with one woman in Akam, which also told me about the Ikaneta story. That woman is about 91 years old.
Yes.
What was that in young something, Mrs. Mary?
Iyang Mary Iyang of Young.
That is my auntie.
Uh-huh.
Etugi's
Of
daughter.
Young Annie.
Yeah, that's Etugi's daughter.
Yes.
Okay.
Etugi's first daughter. She's the
Doing
guy
guy
of
Thank
Akumbo.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. She told me that as a child, they were told that Akum land extends to Mbukba, but they did not know why. They did not know how.
Well, recently, we discovered that Kwo land stretches up to Mbukpa. But with no means of establishing it. We all know that the foods came, met the Kwas here, they crossed over to Creek Town.
Yes, and stayed there. Then the Efik came.
Yes.
They came back to here.
So it would not surprise me if the Kwas are identified with the Mbukpa story.
Okay. Alright, sir. Let's come back home. What is the story of Ikpai here? How did it come to stay here? Do you have an idea, sir?
Ikpai are troubleshooters. Ikpai are children of Udo Kasuk. Udo Kasuk had a number of them. Iba Odo, Agbo Odo, otherwise known as Agbo Asibon. They all lived in Kasuk until the Ikpai brothers committed a sacrilege and were, ostracized. When
Three of them.
Yes. Iba Odo, Agbo Odo, and their nephew, Okwamfood. He was in their company, the three of them, when they were ostracized and banned from,
The community.
yes, or enjoying anything that belongs to Kasu. They left, and being males, they were allowed to move with Mbe. When they left with the intention of going to pay allegiance to the Efiks or the Foods for asylum. But they were intercepted by Ante Ekong Esu.
Ekong Esu.
Ekong Esu.
Okay, Ekong Esu.
Yes.
Which year was that?
Well, I wouldn't know the year, but that is what legend has it.
Okay.
So when he saw them and perceived they were moving as men, he could not imagine the idea of Kwongbe.
Going to Anyo.
Yes. So he said, okay, Baunfa. That is how the name came. They were given 3 huts. The place directly opposite me here. The place opposite their field here, where you have the electric pole. And beside that their president is living. Then, because they were men, or moving like men, they gave them a place to put the Angbe. Well, our people were just kind, otherwise they would have behaved with them like the Akam people behaved with the Iswatu people. They collected the Ingbe and put somewhere. So if the poor had collected the Ingbe and kept somewhere, all this story of we came first, we did this, wouldn't have arisen.
So it is not true story that Ikpai came first,
No.
because they say they came from Baka.
Until we went and brought Bakan people during the coronation of Thomas Ikaika the third. Nobody in this vicinity, including Ikpai, knew the ancestral homes. And when you move out here, you will get all the landmarks to show you that we never falsified our claim. It was after we had identified with our ancestral home that everybody now started clamoring. And the story they tell, this one would say we came from Ikpai in Akampa. Then from Ikpai in Akampa, you will come from Nsofang. The history is not coordinated. Our history is very straight and direct, and it's verifiable.
Like the history of the core.
Yes.
Very straight and direct.
Recently, when Edim Patrick became the paramount ruler, he caused somebody to write another history, trying to move away from the known migration. But it failed because we have been consistent with our history. There's no consistency in the history of all these people coming up.
The history of this Presbyterian church.
Yes.
When was it built?
I may not be very accurate with the date, but the present church was built in dedicated in 1965.
The present one?
Yes.
Ah. Okay.
The church as it is started somewhere in somebody's compound, and from there to Edim Itakpo's compound. And that was why the first site that they had their building, which crumbled because of thunderstorm, that plot was owned by Itakpo.
The first.
Yes. And you can see it's next to Edim Itakpo's compound.
Okay. That was the mud
Yes.
house.
It was a mud house, yes.
The now was erected in 1929 or so.
I may not remember the date.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I think that will be about all for now.
You're welcome.
Until
When some other
another
issue arises,
yes.
you're always welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
And please keep up the good job you are doing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I have an almanac here that you produced.
Okay.
I'll encourage you to dig deep and bring out more
More
of.
facts.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I want to write a book. I'm writing a book about Itakpo the second.
Okay.
So I'm writing the history and his reign and everything. And okay, that's true now. And sir, what about the market? This market was named after him.
Yes.
And I know about 30 something years ago there was a big signboard there.
It is still there.
No,
In
it's not
fact,
there.
the plaque is still there. It's greed. Our boys, the quest for money, they sold out that place and people built and blocked the place.
Okay. Okay. So because I know when that signboard was removed, say they wanted to put one statue there, the statue of that mad woman carrying something like this.
Yes.
And they say when they finish, they'll put it back. But up till now, they have not put it back.
Well, you should know that we have people who don't really like our existence.
It's true.
So that market was named after the legendary Ikaika, Okoa II, for all that he stood for and all that he did for the community. But people who don't want us to exist,
so as we are,
they are fighting shy of calling that market Ikaika Okoa Market. You see them, Mariam Market.
that is why, it's because the signboard is not there. So I've been trying to put that signboard back. And I am thinking not only putting the signboard back, he's erecting his effigy
there.
In that market.
Yes.
Front, then put the signboard.
That would be very good. In fact, if that thing they put there was that man's effigy, it would have been better.
Yeah, we want to remove that one because that one has no meaning.
It has no
I
meaning.
don't know, somebody just got a contract and put this thing and they removed the signboard. I know it's a gimmick of, making the name not be popular.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe when it gets to that time, the royal family
We'll all stand behind you.
Thank you, sir, because I am doing the paperwork now.
Let's do what we have to do. Claim our rights.
It's all right, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.